foods, and that will help that part of the brain get bigger. What elderly people's biggest problems? They have dementia, and that can be caused from, they give you, Mr. Smith's got dementia. No names, I'm just saying a name randomly. But, here comes the $1 million workup, instead of just starting with the basics. But they went ahead and did this study. It was in 2015 published, and it was just fascinating. And it reinforces to us to eat living foods and to think of if it's being caused in adult population, what's it doing to our kids, right?
Right.
So our kids aren't learning well, and you're big into education.
Absolutely.
And if kids can't learn because their brains aren't big enough, it's going to make it very difficult, isn't it? But we can take one of those intangibles out of the way. Keep the boxes out of the cabinet.
Keep the boxes out of the cabinet.
Keep the foods in the fridge.
Mm-hmm. If it's in a box, it really doesn't need to be in there at all.
Right. You don't need it. The only wrapper you need is a seed or a shell or something like that. It's not a box. It's not a wrapper. We don't need those kinds of covers for our food. God made it that way for us, and we just need to start right there again, and then, it's just a really cool thing to just look at today, the other day, and see that, and then you go into nursing homes and you see the food that they're fed, right?
Yes. Oh, the nursing home food is some of the worst.
Yeah, and they say, it's the best food ever because.
Oh.
No, it's not. No. And our taste buds get so blasted. People that have problems with sugar, most people are eating about just physically one day, just take about 6 or 8 tablespoons of sugar and pile it up on a dish. And that's about what humans do these days. That contributes about 150 pounds a year. Now, somebody's helping me out because I'm not eating that much. So
someone's getting your share, huh?
Yeah, they're getting the biggest share of that. And, it overwhelms the taste buds to the point that we need something more sugary. So then, your body thinks about all that sugar coming in produces insulin, and insulin helps us to store fat, so then we get fatter. So actually, if you're a type 1 diabetic on insulin, you're going to gain about 20 or 30 pounds. There's great potential for that on average. Although I know my favorite type 1 diabetic, and I'll probably get him on here to do a testimonial soon, and he stays thin.
Going to have join us to share their victory post?
Yeah, 1 week after one of the weeks, I have to get in touch with him. He's in pre-med right now, but he's going to go to naturopathic medical school after he finishes pre-med. Very proud of him. And David Sullivan is just an amazing young man. He's a little genius, that guy. He takes it to a new level, and I appreciate him on the Warriors team to help sort out some of the health issues that people have. How he balances all, I don't know. And I'm sure he gets that multitasking gene from his mother, I'm sure, if that's possible. So I think maybe after I expounded like that and we talked about all these things, people had a lot to take away today. That again, living foods are very important. And I think I won't be on next week, but the following week after that, I think we should start talking more about food combinations, Michelle, of the living foods that we take in. And I challenge you once again, everybody out there, to chew up your foods till they're pasted in your mouth. I challenge you to only drink 2 ounces of liquids with your meals. I challenge you to put your fork down between your bite and share that with other people, and find out that you'll probably have the same thought that our ancestors had back in colonial times, like Benjamin Franklin. He said, in general, mankind, since the improvement of cookery, eats twice as much as nature requires, So we eat. 1/3 of that goes to our bodies, and the other 2 goes to big pharma and medical science, So we really have to behoove, and we're going to talk about how much and when and that. We're going to talk about that in 2 weeks. So I want you to really gear up for that. I want you to start keeping some log of what you're eating every day, how much sugar you're taking in, and it's real easy because people read the labels. If you're eating all natural foods, I don't want you to worry about it too much. But be cognizant of that. If you're eating stuff on the labels or drinking soda, a sweetened drink, if you're drinking Rebound or from Longevity or Beyond Tangy Tangerine, another Longevity product, or Z-Radical or that, just realize those are good natural sugars, and you shouldn't have anything to worry about there. But it's always good for one to be cognizant of one on the box, how much sugar, or on the can, how much sugar I'm putting in myself, and think of every 4 grams of sugar being 1 teaspoon. And then said, oh, I only had this many teaspoons this day. So in 2 weeks when you come back, I'm probably going to call some of you out and ask you, how'd you do? And how's it going with your digestion? Because digestion doesn't mean you get the food down in there. It's how much gets into your system in a great way, how much assimilation, and that's a big word. That means our nutrients work with us, our bodies, Again, I said Allopathic, take the body apart. When we were conceived in utero, that was one cell, and suddenly we're this human being without any help from the doctor, right? We grew ourselves, and the body has an inherent ability to heal itself if you just give it the right stuff and don't block things. I mean, again, there are places where medications are needed as a bridge to health, as that we talked about the onion last week, and Herring's Law of Cure. If you didn't hear about it, go back and listen to the recording that Michelle so eloquently just facilitates all that. And I tell you, Michelle, I really can't listen to myself sometimes, but I have to try to catch up for the next week.
I know.
So if you're out there and you have a question, I'd be more than happy to help you deal with the issue that you have and take it forward towards your maximum wellness.
Awesome. Speak, as you can hear, from the children's background, but everyone's lines are unmuted, and you may jump in with your question. If you do have any unusual noise, like a child that's decided you've been on a line for too long, you can actually quiet yourself by pressing star and 6. So we are broadcasting live on the radio, but we're using a conference line to air the information, okay? So press star and 6. Go ahead and speak. Everyone is unmuted if you have a question, okay? Everyone is quiet, so I'm assuming, Mark, that they're good for the minute or shy, and that's okay.
Okay, I was hoping that maybe Sheila came back after last week.
I did read number to listen and replay. We got on late.
Please remember that this is a radio broadcast. We are live, and all of the broadcasts are available on demand. Last week, we may have some more or less editing to do, and if we want to do a little fancy stuff, we may take an extra day or two, but usually by the next morning, the broadcast is available on demand, and I will post it, or Mark will post it on the Wellness Warriors page, Facebook page. Okay, everyone? Just check there on the next day. Most often you'll see it there the next day, unless there's an unusual amount of editing because we had, a glitch or something. But anyone is able to ask questions. I see only quite a few of you are still in the room, and you're welcome to do so. Mark is available. We have a few minutes left before we need to wrap up our broadcast.
Yeah, I thought we'd leave it open. Was anybody here last week and kind of took things to heart about healthier eating habits?
I think she is on the line tonight. No, she's not on the line tonight, but she did get information from me, and I will follow up with her to make sure she's okay.
Absolutely.
I did keep her number. I did hold on to her phone number.
Good. Yeah, you do that very, very discreetly and very nicely.
I will.
We can ask a question like, if a friend is on chemo and radiation, what's the best food for them to be eating when they come home and off of that? Or
vegetables. They had cancer for chemo and radiation?
Yeah, she's just down there getting radiation done now, and I'm just sick. But when she gets here in 2 weeks, I don't even know how to approach her, but, to tell her, I know it's in her diet, that we've got to change that diet, but more vegetables, huh?
Oh, mostly vegetables, if not all. She's probably going to be wore out and that from the chemo, so I would get her like a NutriBullet or something like that and help her you want the most bang for the buck as far as foods go. Of course, always organic is on top, and just make sure that she gets the inflammation that caused the cancer, just overwhelmed her. So we need to keep her off foods that will cause inflammation. Vegetables are very alkaline, and that helps because when she became inflamed, she became probably very acidic or acid, and we need to just keep that at bay at this point. The good cells, we need to feed the good cells in her body. They try to, with chemo and radiation, isolate just the cancer cells, but that never happens. So they always affect some of the good cells as well. Are you with longevity at all?
Yes, that's what I'm wondering. What she can. Are there any?
The BTT would be awesome for her just to put in a smoothie. Even the Ultimate Classic, 1 ounce of that every day at least per 100 pounds body weight would be awesome. It was shown in the Clemson study, very prestigious university for nutrition, about the 3rd best around, that when we sent those two to them, that they found out that it will support your body in a great way, even in spite of those conventional medicine methods like chemo and radiation. It will help support the good cells in a great way so that they have a good die-off of the rest of the ones. The other thing I would do is I would definitely give her Cell Shield RTQ, because the quercetin in there will help the old cells, or the senescent cells, get eliminated from the body. And a lot of times it's those cells that get inflamed and cause cancer in a nutshell for you. You can open up that capsule and put it in something. You can disguise it, camouflage it. You can do the same thing with Fucoid Z is pretty awesome for that. But what you got to do is you got to get her home, sit her down, tell her how much you love her, and say doc, and his staff that can help you get your strength back. Whatever you did to cause whatever happened, we need to change, and there are just some miraculous ways to do that. I just got a new book, Cancer Free, General Non-Toxic Healing, and I've read Charlotte Gerson, and I've listened to Nicholas Gonzalez, and I've listened to Ty Bollinger and all his people, and AJ Lanigan from our longevity family. And there are so many interesting strategies that you incorporate when they come home, because you don't have to be detective so much right now. Support the good cells of the body with awesome nutrition, and I think Doc Wallach's products are awesome for that.
Thank you.
How's that?
Cancer-Free book is by who?
That would be Bill Henderson. Take a look. I just got it. I mean, it has some excellent resources in there. Like I said, when she comes home now, or he comes home, you need to get the nutrition on board right away, keep them hydrated. And I think smoothies would be easy because it's the easiest to digest in the body, or fresh juicing as well. I think those two things going hand in hand because they feel like they get their strength back. Like you said, in the smoothies and that, you can mix in the BTT and the RTQ and the calcium, of course, that they need. If you give them Ultimate Classic, there's a pretty good amount of calcium in there versus Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Michelle, tell them Wellness Warriors with a Z at gmail.com is a good way to get a hold of me. And or you can just hit me on Facebook and PM me, and I'll be back to you like Jack Spratt usually. So
and also,
way faster than any doctor.
I just want to add, for anyone that was interested, want to make sure that you heard the book is entitled Cancer Free by Bill Henderson. That's HENDERSON, and it is available at Amazon.com.
It is.
Yes, it is.
It is. So don't forget to get, if you're kind of techno, you have a Kindle or you have a tablet or something like that, you don't have to have all those books in your house.
That's right.
Because my house, they would think I was a hoarder.
But
I have about 80 books on my tablet. So.
Oh, awesome! That's awesome. I tend to like audio books myself.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but however you do it, it is available.
Exactly.
Yes, it is available, and I see that at Amazon it's something like $22, $23.
No, you can get a used one way cheaper than that.
That's right, and even cheaper than that if you go used. That's correct.
Just go used. That's what I do, and that's how I help formulate plans for people And that, it's just because it's a matter of the doctors, the allopaths won't give you that information. So
that's
part
right.
of the avenue that Michelle and I take is we want to inform you and show you that there's something out there that's probably most likely going to work.
Right. The
versus what you've been missing.
The subtitle to the book is Your Guide to Gentle, Non-Toxic Healing.
That was a very good part of that title that kind of drew me to that.
Yes.
But also Ty Bollinger had interviewed him on the Answer to Cancer series that he did, many interviews, including our own A.J. Lanigan. And